Hi all. We shall move to further topic on module 4. And before dealing about reciprocating pump, let us see a phenomenon which is common in all kinds of hydraulic machines. That is, it may occur in hydraulic turbine or hydraulic pumps. That is called as cavitation. See, there are two ways of vaporizing a liquid. For a given pressure, you heat it, increase the temperature, and after attaining the saturation temperature, the boiling point, it will vaporize. And another method is, at a given temperature, you reduce the pressure. When it reaches the vapor pressure of the liquid for the temperature, it will vaporize. So, in hydraulic devices, hydraulic machines, there are so many low pressure regions. So, cavitation occurs in liquids when the pressure is reduced to vapor pressure at a given temperature of operation. At any of this low pressure region, if the pressure is less than vapor pressure, uh, naturally the vapor bubbles will be formed. So this one is a low pressure region. So water is flowing in this direction. So bubbles are formed in this region. So that those bubbles will be taken away by the moving liquid, moving water, and along with water, it may reach some high pressure regions. So as the local pressure is very high, the sudden collapsing of these vapor bubbles takes place in the high pressure regions, and that results in a very high uh, induced pressure, very high local pressure. So the surrounding liquids will be forced to the area, and that may cause some pitting action on the surrounding walls. That is the surface of the pipe, and it produces vibration. It produces noise. So many damages may occur. So this phenomenon is called as cavitation. So in local regions of low pressure, uh, the vapor bubbles start growing, and this bubbles moves with water, reaches the high pressure region, and that creates so many problems like increased noise, pitting, accelerated erosion and damage to components, vibrations, loss of efficiency. So this is a part of a turbine, mm, which is prone to the cavitation. So cavitation occurred, and some damages takes place. So we have so many low pressure regions, especially for a reaction turbine. The exit, the draft tube, the inlet of the draft tube is the extreme low pressure region. For a pump, the suction pipe. The suction pipe is a low pressure region, and the eye of the impeller, that is the end of the suction pipe. There, there is chance for cavitation. So about reciprocating pump, we will discuss about the maximum speed possible for a reciprocating pump. And last class we discussed about the indicator diagram, and there we got the pressure head inside the cylinder for different positions of piston. So the pressure in the cylinder during any time, whether it can be suction or delivery, should not fall below the vapor pressure of the liquid. So if pressure is below the vapor pressure, naturally the liquid vaporizes and this cavitation occurs. So this cavitation may cause a discontinuity in the flow. The flow will not be uniform. So it causes a discontinuity in the flow, and that is called as separation. So we can say that the separation of liquid takes place. So we need to concentrate on the low pressure regions or the low pressure points, and there is a chance of formation of vapor bubbles in the low pressure region. So we need to take suction stroke and delivery stroke separately, and we will closely look into the low pressure points in suction stroke and delivery stroke, and we can say that there is a chance of separation in those points. And the pressure at which the separation takes place is called as the separation pressure, and the corresponding pressure head is called as separation pressure head. And for doing this, we'll consider suction and delivery stroke separately. So this is your indicator diagram, by considering the combined effect of acceleration and piston. So you take the suction stroke. Considering the suction stroke, during suction stroke, the variation is A dash, G dash, B dash. So here the low pressure is at A dash, the point A dash, that is the beginning of suction stroke. So the absolute pressure at A dash, absolute pressure is the pressure measured from zero pressure. Pressure measured from zero pressure, that is a pressure measured from the x-axis. This shows zero pressure, the x-axis. So the pressure measured from x-axis at A dash, that will be equal to HATM minus HS plus HAS. So the absolute pressure at A dash is HATM minus HS plus HAS, and that is called as separation pressure head, because chance of separation is there. So that pressure head is called as separation pressure head. So S separation is equal to HATM minus HS plus HAS. This pressure is the absolute pressure head at A dash. Then from this, HAS is HATM minus HS minus HSEP. And you know the equation for HAS, LS by G, A by AS, omega square R. And by equating these two, the only unknown will be this omega. HATM will be given, HS is known, and the separation pressure head is the vapor pressure head of water. Normally it is 2.5 meters of absolute. 2.5 meters of absolute. If the pressure is less than atmospheric by some 7.8 meters, the vapor formation takes place. So it is 2.5 meters absolute or 3 meters absolute. So that is given. L is known, A is known, AS is known, R is known. So this gives omega, and omega, the angular velocity is 2 pi n by 60, and this n can be found out from this equation. So this n is the maximum speed without separation during the suction stroke. So we consider only suction stroke. Now you consider delivery stroke. Delivery stroke is the pressure variation is along C dash, H, D dash. So the minimum point is D dash. So the chance of separation, the chance of vapor formation is at point D dash. So the absolute pressure head at D dash, that is HATM plus HD minus HAD. HATM, so it is really clear from the previous diagram. HATM is this one up to this. This is HD, so HATM plus HD, and this D dash is HAD. So HATM plus HD minus HAD. That is the separation pressure head. And HATM plus HD minus HSEP, equation for HD, and by equating these two, you got omega. Omega is 2 pi n by 60. So that n is the maximum speed without separation by considering the delivery stroke. So you got two speeds, one by considering the suction stroke and one by considering the delivery stroke. So the maximum speed of the minimum of these two speeds obtained by considering the suction and delivery stroke will be the maximum speed without separation. That is, if the speed obtained by considering the suction stroke is some 10 rpm and the speed obtained by considering the delivery stroke is some 5 rpm, that means the minimum maximum speed without separation is 10 rpm, 5 rpm, 10 rpm, 5 rpm. So the separation occurs at 5 rpm. So the maximum speed separation for the given pump will be equal to 5 rpm. That is why the minimum of the two speeds will be taken as the maximum speed without separation. So normally in university questions, there will be a problem based on this. You can go through the previous question papers. Definitely you can see a problem from separation. So find the maximum speed of a single acting reciprocating pump to avoid separation with occurs at 3 meters of water absolute. So this 3 meters of water absolute is the vapor pressure head of water. So there is the separation pressure head. Cylinder diameter is given, stroke is given, D and L. The water level in the sump is 3.5 meters below the pump axis, that is the suction head. And delivery tank is 13 meters above the pump axis, that is the delivery head. Suction pipe length is given, diameter is given, delivery pipe length and diameter is given, atmospheric pressure head is given. This atmospheric pressure head is in terms of water it is 10.3 meters. You need to remember this, they won't give you in the question. So all these are the given values, and the stroke length R is 2L. So the crank radius